Okay, good morning. It is 11:45 on a Friday morning, just about turning over to a Friday afternoon. And here we are with not the last of our videos, but coming up to pretty much to the end of the tunnel with working with old Dr. B. And I'm feeling older and older every day lately. At any rate, I'm going to try to minimize my ramblings and wanderings to get to the point as quickly as I can. There are two videos today. One is this one. This is what I'm calling video number one, and it's really what I'm calling I'm just calling kind of a housekeeping video, and a little bit of tutoring too, because I have to get you through the next part of the alchemy simulation, which is no longer the simulation. It's really just some parts of the alchemy simulation broken into some of the activities. Time has run out, and we'll just make the best of it. And speaking of that, I think you're doing a nice job. You did a very nice job with the votes on the purpose. I'm not ready to announce which purpose it is. I'll post that later today, most likely. I'm still waiting for, I think, two more people. I'll give them a chance to respond. But the ideas that were posted were just wonderful, just wonderful. So I'm not sure how I want to handle it. I mean, I could just do a majority vote. That's easy enough to do. But I think doing that might really negate some of those the people who lost, because some of the ideas really would work very well where they mesh together. So I'm going to play with that and get that back out to you sooner rather than later. So you'll have a purpose. And well, as long as I'm on the subject, I'll take you to the next place as far as that's concerned. So you'll have a purpose. And now you've got to consider what that enacting that purpose means insofar as how you're going to work with that case study that we gave you. And in terms of learning how to not only enact the change, implement the change, but more importantly, to steward the change. Now, steward is a crazy verb for not only implement it, but sustain it. There's plenty of reforms out there. I know that those of you, almost all of you, I think, are out of the city, and you haven't been shy in telling me about changes coming from up high down into your buildings, telling you to do this, that, and the other thing. And in doing this, that, and the other thing, are imposing those changes on you more than looking for your input. And I think I understand some of why that's the case, but that's another conversation. And so in this case, we're trying to have you implement changes to alleviate the issues that we saw in the case study. And what we need to do now is to take a look at futures that you want to create. Okay. So with that in mind, I'm going to bring up, and it's not done yet, but what I want to bring up now, as soon as I remember to pick it up first. Okay. I'm going to show you something I think I showed you way back, or the futurist may, perhaps I showed it to, or I encouraged them to take responsibility for. And why can't I find share? Okay, we're almost there. Now you're going to get this on Canvas, and it's not finished, so don't take it to heart yet. But you're going to see that what I've done is identified the stages, what I wanted to do in video one, and then what I want to do in video two. So I'll have to make video two rather yellow, and I'll make video one whatever that color is. All right, so we'll come back to that in a little while. But you're going to see here what we call a cross impact matrix change. I remember there was a movie made with, I forgot his name. Well, one was Keanu Reeves, but the other, Samuel Jackson. And it was called The Matrix. And I never understood the movie. I liked it, but did I understand it? Not too well. But a matrix is just a fancy word for a chart or that depicts a relationship between things. That's what that's about. And so when you use a matrix to future, what you're doing is you're using it to project what you think or forecast what you think will be, what you think is out there, what you think you could expect. Now, I've made one for you. It's about as simple can be. Sometimes I do a model before this, but I'm trying to save some time. But I'll do it verbally if you could follow me for a minute. Think of the story of Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Goldilocks is tripping down the road. She's mad at her parents, I think, in most of the fairy tales. And she comes to the house of the Three Bears. And she's got choices. One choice is to go into the house. Another choice is to burn down the house. The third choice would be to turn around and go back home. Okay? And so those are her choices here. Those are her futures. See where my arrow is going? Now, who's affected by that? Well, Papa Bear, Mama Bear, Baby Bear, and we'll even add a fourth column and say Goldilocks' parents. So just think with me for a second. And this is simply if then. If Goldilocks goes into the Three Bears' house, how will the Papa Bear feel about that? If Goldilocks goes into the house, and what would the Mama Bear think? What would the Baby Bear think? What would her parents think? What you're doing is isolating the outcomes of futures. Okay? So if I wear instead of wearing the same color shoes on both of my feet, I wear a purple shoe and a white shoe. Left I wear purple, white I wear on my right foot. How will people receive that? Well, people will think I didn't dress properly. That's a future. People won't care. That's a future. People might think that I've started a new fad. That's another future. Depending on who is perceiving the act, depending on who's perceiving or being influenced by the idea. So what I've done is I've simplified this enormously for you, but you can see what I need you to do. I need you to, and I did one for you. I took 4 ideas, really 2, okay? I took 4 ideas. Here they are. I'm going to put them in yellow so they stand out a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to put them in green. Here are the 4 ideas. You decided one future that people will need to put in place to help the school is to reinforce or expand on professional development, and it's received well. People really think this is a great choice. On the other hand, people are not interested in this. Why change? Why should I have to change what I do, my practices, which have worked for 25,000 years, for these new children that are coming in? It's not my problem. Well, it is their problem, but they don't choose for it not to be their problem. So those are 2 futures: received well, not received well. I think these are the 2 most important ones, and that would be you decide to restructure, or you have a group help you. Think about your memo that you used a couple of weeks ago. You have a committee help you restructure all of what you do with ENL and put it in place. And it's received well. The general faculty sees that it's going to make sense, that it's going to be more effective for all kids, that the new immigrant children will also benefit from being around with each other, whichever way you saw that program should be. All right, and it's received well. Well, how are the students going to receive that? I think I just did that for you. How will the leadership receive that? How about the community? Well, on the other hand, suppose it's not received well. Basically, we're talking about, suppose there's a resistance to the change. It's not received well. They don't buy with the committee I pulled together. Okay, and you work this out the same way. Now, what I want you to do is here's my ideas for professional development. The students benefit from teachers uniformly applying new ideas. That just makes sense. By the way, there's more than one idea, more than one future here. I just put one in. The leadership's got some things to do. They must work hard to properly co-design. Notice I use the word co-design, the training. And the community, well, the community will probably wonder about what this is going to cost and involve, but they'll probably also look for student results. And there's probably several other futures there. So what I've done here is I've just identified 3 possible, probable futures coming from this one idea. Same, and I didn't do them for the other 3. You have to do those. So here's what you're going to do. I'm going to go back up to the top. Under this phrase, what you're going to do is you're going to complete the boxes, complete the matrix. You're going to individually choose one idea. Yeah, one idea that you think is the preferable future. You're going to post it in the DQ. That's it. Okay, complete the matrix, choose one of the ideas, post it in the DQ, and explain why. There's no right or wrong answer here, folks. No right or wrong. Whatever you think is the case is the case. And again, identify yourself as what team you're in. I'm going to count on Diana and I'm going to count on Rowan to hustle this through so I can have this as soon as I can possible. And then I'll tell you what to do next. So if you look at my video, things I had to plan to do for this particular video, I haven't talked about calendar yet. I've just done what I think is actually it goes with these 2. What I think is the most important conversations in this video. And then there's 2 other points to talk about. Well, I looked at the calendar today and said, holy cow, today is December 1st. The final assignment is due December 8th. The course ends around, I think, December 13th. So that's what's left. So this DQ will be the last DQ. All right. There's no more time to fit any more in, he smiled. And so consider that to be done. All right. So I know that the calendar begins to accelerate. And I just want to point out the final assignment, which I did a Academy Award winning, it's purple work, an Academy Award winning video about 2 weeks ago in an office hours. So in this case, by heavens, if you haven't looked at the video by now, you should. It's in one of the modules. I think it's 2 weeks ago. Watch the module. However, if you still have questions, concerns, for heaven's sakes, just find me. You can text me. You can email me. We can Skype. I don't like to do Skype. We can FaceTime. We can do TomToms. We can do Morse code. I don't want anybody being concerned that they don't understand what they need to do. But I do think that video is pretty well done. Now, you see how I wrote this. Actually, I would like it by a week from today, but I can understand how that might give you a rash. So I'll take it up to December 13th, because that's the end of the semester. I'll even probably take it after that if you just give me a heads up. Because as much as you probably think I don't move so quickly on some things, when it comes to getting grades in, I'd like to be effective and efficient on that. All right. So the short story is, I'd like to have it by the 8th. That's when for example, if I see a problem with them, then I could email you and say, hey, you need to fix this and this. Do you want to fix it? Fix it. If you want to leave it alone, then that's okay too. Whatever grade you get out of that is what you get. But that's entirely up to you. But I'll take it up to the 13th since that's the end of the semester. However, if you need more time, you need a couple more days, you have some heaven forbid thing happen to you, you've been ill, or so, I'm ill again, believe it or not, I'm on this antibiotic from hell right now, that you need to need some extra time, just tell me. ask me, tell me, give me a heads up, and I'll be happy to work with you on that. All right, so in this video one, we're really talking about, our calendar, just to tell you how many, not that you probably don't already know yourself, how many days are left to the semester. I'm sure you're exhausted from taking courses and working and running families and so forth. So that we did the calendar. We jumped down to the purple for a minute. So I'll take the final assignment, preferably on the 8th, but I'll take it later than that. Okay. Preferably no later than the 13th, but I'll even take it later than that if something is in your way. And I taught you how to do a matrix. And I told you what to do for your decision question. And that's the end of this video. Wow. Usually I talk way longer than this, don't I? How do I get rid of this? Why can't I get rid of this, guys? I keep changing the format here. Minimize. All right. Now we got to stop the share. And now we're done. At least then. Now the next video is going to be a lot longer. All right. And I'll tell you flat out, I mean, I would like to give you discussion questions about this. I would like to do any number of other things with it, but I'm not. I'm really basically just trying to give you some new things to think about in terms of leadership theory and change theory, because we've hit some pretty hard, and some wouldn't hurt, by especially one of the three I'm going to demonstrate in a moment that I think has some real value when you're thinking about what you need to do to work in your design, your action plan design as such. So with that, I'm going to stop, record this. I'm going to and then I'll start the other video in a few minutes.